Hey guys, I know it's been a long time since I last uploaded. Um, Part of the reason is it's cold outside. It is very cold. And as you can see, I'm inside with a nice fire on my back and where it's nice and warm. And the reason for that is I'm going to be doing or talking about some 3D printing. I know this isn't your typical thing that you see on this restoration type stuff, but I want to see how 3D printing can aid or help with the restoration of this old F-150. One of the first things I wanted to try is this fancy little hood ornament. Not quite sure how I want to attach it to the actual hood. I mean, there's room there for magnets. I could do spots where I could, glue in some bolts or even form in some bolts into this print. Not quite sure yet. This is just a prototype. See how it is. Maybe once I get what I want to do, how I want to attach to the hood, I'll send this out to one of the subscribers that is subscribed to the channel. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe now so maybe you guys get a chance to win this thing. It is pretty cool. It's rough, nothing pretty, but it's a cool little souvenir nonetheless. So now let's look into how I actually designed it and what I did, and we're going to go step by step and designing the process, and then actually taking that file on the computer and watching it print on a 3D printer. So hopefully this interests some of these guys or you guys into wanting to get a 3D printer and help your restoration builds. So let's look at this computer. All right, so here we are. This is what the finished product will look like before we 3D print it. So let's roll it back to nothing. So one of the first things we want to do is we're going to make our sketch. So hold on here. So looking at it from the top view, we want it about 5.5 inches long, 3 inches wide, and here at the center, I want the front to stick out about 1.5 inches. So pretty simple. Just kind of throwing measurements at it till I get the look that I want. And once you do that, you're gonna boss extrude the height you want. And I can't remember. Let me see the height that I went with. Can't remember. I think it was 2 inches or 1.5 inches. Either way, oh, it looks like that. It's doing that on me. Hold on. Either way, this is what it's going to look like after the first step. There's a million and one ways to do this. This is just the steps that I took. So if you do this on your own, there's 101 ways to do it. You don't have to follow what I do. So next, I make my first cut, which are the front and the back here. So if you're looking at it on this piece, it's going to be right here and back here to kind of get this, that shape that I wanted. And seeing how we did that, is something like this. Now again, there's 101 ways to do it. You don't have to follow what I did. I'm just showing you how I did it. Oops, wrong way. So that's after our first cut. Now we're going to do a second cut, and it's going to be our sides here. So when you're looking at it, we want this nice oval shape. And as you can see, when I come to the front plane or the front view, there we go. It'll have that swooping look that I want. Again, how I did that is just a sketch in the front view. The next thing that I do here, as you can see, I'll have all these hard lines. Well, I don't want the printer to try to print those. So I'm going to use a fillet and put a radius on all these hard lines right here. That way it looks, it's not the best, but it looks somewhat nice. And next, what we want to do
We're going for the big part, the double R. So again, how I do it is I just made a sketch, and then in SolidWorks, you want to make sure you have it shaded so that it's, you know, the computer knows this is the part that's being extruded and the blue is not. And so when you get done with that, again, I think this is on like the middle plane or the right plane, can't quite remember. And it'll look like that when we're done. And boom, looks pretty good. But as you can see here, if the printer would try to print this, there's nothing here, right in here, for support. So what I did is I threw a little revolved action right here to give it a base. And also this serves right in the middle of this area right there. I'm going to cut it to make the two parts. So we have this part and we have this part. And I don't know if you can tell, but see right there, there's that little base and there's the little base. The reason I did this is because I don't want the printer to try to print this whole thing standing up like this, or it would have took it 2 days to print. What I wanted to do was have it sit like this, but I need a way to attach it. So I did that. So there's multiple ways to do it. What I did is I did a save as this assembly, and I extruded the top, gone. So it's just the bottom half, and then I extruded a cut, that's a square peg, just like that. And then vice versa, you do it to the top. Only that time you're gonna extrude boss slash base and make a peg to go in to the hole that you made. Now, something that you want to consider is tolerances. So you don't have to sand it down. You want a tight fit, but you also want, like if you're going to use glue or something, you want it to fit in there as well. And as you can see, I need to do some more sanding because I have a gap right there. So always remember your tolerances. Leave room for tolerances. So there, that is what the finished product is, minus it being cut in two like this. So now let's go to a time lapse of it actually 3D printing.
Okay, so that was a little quick and dirty run through of how I set up the part in what I use is SolidWorks. Again, Fusion 360 is a very good beginner software. That's what I started off with and kind of messing with. Also, after those pictures, let me know. Do you like option one or option two better? How we want to lay this out? Do we want to lay it out like this? Or should I swap it and flip it and put it like this? Also, should I paint it? You know, it's just a prototype, but what the heck? Should we paint it a color? What color should we paint it? We have a blue. Shoot it down in the comments. Let me know. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. If there's anything else you want to see, if you want to see the other parts 3D printed, or if you have any questions, just shoot them in the comments and I'll try to do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good day.